Okay, so let's unpack this. You've shared some really fascinating material on moon-inspired baby names.
Yeah, it's quite a
We've
collection.
got this list, right? 25 names, and it details, origins,
Its
meanings.
popularity, too, according to the SSA data.
Right, the Social Security Administration stats for the US. And even little fun facts for each one. It's pretty diverse.
It really is. You see names from all over, different cultures, different levels of current use.
Absolutely. And what strikes me is how this one thing, the moon, can inspire so much variety. Each name has its own story.
Exactly, its own cultural weight.
So our mission for this deep dive, I think, is to go beyond just like reading the list. We
Mhm.
want to figure out what makes them appealing, right?
Mhm.
And maybe uncover some surprising things about naming trends.
And that cultural connection we have to the moon, it seems pretty enduring.
Totally. You mentioned wanting to, get the insights quickly but thoroughly.
Yeah, that's the idea. Hit the highlights, the really interesting bits, without getting bogged down.
Okay, let's do that. So where should we start? Maybe the most popular ones right now.
Makes sense. Top of the charts.
Okay, so Luna. Simple meaning moon in Latin. It's actually in the top 10 now.
Which is incredible considering its popularity, really. Surged only after 2003. It climbed fast.
Why do you think that happened? Such a rapid rise.
Well, it probably ties into a bigger trend we're seeing, a shift towards simpler names, nature-based names.
Like willow or river, you mean?
Exactly those kinds. Names with clear, positive meanings. Luna fits perfectly, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Straightforward meaning, soft sound. Very appealing.
Universally so, it seems.
Okay, then we have Atlas, Greek, bearer of the heavens. It's top 100.
Mhm.
And interestingly, it's also the name of one of Jupiter's moons.
Right. So the main meaning isn't moon exactly, but that celestial connection is definitely there. Strong link.
It makes you wonder, are parents drawn to just space in general, the vastness of it?
I think so. Atlas points to a slightly different kind of celestial interest, maybe. Not just our moon, but the bigger picture.
The cosmos mythology.
Exactly, the grandeur of it all.
Hmm.
And seeing names like Atlas rise alongside Luna suggests parents are looking skyward for different kinds of inspiration.
That's a great point. And then there's Diana,
Ah, classic.
Latin divine, Roman goddess of the moon, and hunting. She's in the top 250.
And you see that bump, don't you? Around the time of a certain royal wedding.
Yeah, it's pretty noticeable. A very specific cultural moment boosting a name.
It's a powerful example, isn't it? How real-world events, admired people, can sort of reignite interest in classic names.
Even names with deep mythological roots, like Diana.
Yeah, and the existing moon connection probably just made it feel even more right at that time.
Makes you think about how public figures shape things, even down to baby names.
Those subtle influences. So looking at these top three, Luna, Atlas, Diana, what stands out to you about their moon connection?
I think it's the different flavors of connection. Luna's direct, simple.
Hmm.
Atlas feels more about like celestial power, the heaven.
Yeah.
And Diana, it's mythology, but then boosted by a modern event. It's like the moon resonates for different reasons.
That's a good way to put it. Different facets.
Okay, so let's move beyond the top tier. How does this moon fascination look across different cultures? We got Selena
Greek, meaning moon or moon goddess, top 250.
with a peak back in the 90s, interestingly.
Yeah, the 90s peak for Selena.
Yeah.
You almost certainly have to connect that to the singer Selena Quintanilla Perez.
Oh, absolutely. The icon.
So here, the name's Lunar, meaning gets this huge overlay from a beloved cultural figure. It shows how multiple factors drive popularity.
Good point. Then Aylin, Turkish, of the moon, top 500. And the notes say it's a rising star.
Aylin feels like it speaks to that growing appreciation for names from different languages, different backgrounds.
More global awareness.
Probably. The world feels more connected, maybe.
Right.
And Aylin offers a unique sound to English speakers, but still has that clear, beautiful moon meaning.
So parents are maybe more adventurous now with international names.
It seems that way. More open to exploring.
Okay, we also have Lucian, Latin origin, meaning light, or specifically moonlight.
Also top 500. Peaked pretty recently.
It's a bit more subtle, isn't it? The connection focuses on the moon's light.
It is subtle, evocative, but not overtly shouting moon. Maybe that appeals to parents who like the celestial idea but want something less direct.
Perhaps. And its recent popularity. Maybe a trend towards softer, more nuanced meanings.
Could be. It fits that feeling.
And last in this group, Titan, Greek defender.
But crucially.
Right, Saturn is the largest moon. So Similar to Atlas, the link is through another planet's moon. It's in the top 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So what does this variety tell us? Different cultures, different kinds of links.
It really shows the breadth of inspiration, doesn't it? You've got direct translations, moon goddesses, moons of other planets.
Turkish names giving us poetic phrases like of the moon.
While Greek offers these powerful mythological figures or even names tied to other celestial bodies, it just shows how captivating the night sky is everywhere and seemingly always has been.
Okay, fascinating. Now, let's maybe dive into some names outside the top 1,000. The hidden gems, perhaps?
Yeah, this is where you can find some really unique options.
Like Selene. Greek for moon, the actual Greek goddess of the moon. But it's way less common than Luna right now.
Which is interesting, right? Same core meaning.
Why do you think that is? Why Luna and not Selene?
Could be a few things, maybe pronunciation. Luna is arguably simpler, flows a bit easier for English speakers.
Okay.
Or it could just be sound trends. Selene feels a little more formal, maybe. Less in vogue than the softer sound of Luna currently.
That makes sense. Then there's Chandra, Sanskrit for moon, also a Hindu deity.
Another one that's less frequent in the U.S.
Again, very direct, culturally significant, but hasn't broken through here.
Chandra really highlights that cultural context factor, I think. It's deeply meaningful in Hindu culture.
But maybe less widely understood or appreciated by a broader American audience.
Exactly. It's a reminder that a name's meaning and sort of cultural weight travel differently across populations.
Gotcha. What about Neoma? Greek for new moon. I like that one. It's a unique twist.
Neoma's great. It finds a fresh angle, doesn't it? The new moon symbolizes hope, potential, new beginnings.
Very appealing for new parents, you'd think.
Totally. And its sound is a bit different, too. Setting it apart contributes to its uniqueness.
Then Rakesh. Hindi, Lord of the Full Moon. Never cracked the top 1,000 here. Very distinctive.
Yeah, similar to Chandra, carries that strong cultural resonance. Beautiful name, specific meaning.
But its lack of wider popularity here just shows how those cultural roots shape a name's journey outside its origin.
Precisely.
Okay, Tsuki, Japanese for moon. Noted for being poetic. Sounds lovely, quite delicate.
Tsuki really embodies that aesthetic, doesn't it? Elegant, evocative, simple.
So why isn't it more popular here?
Probably reflects the overall lower representation of Japanese names in the U.S. stats, rather than anything lacking in the name itself.
Right, makes sense. Now zenith, this one's interesting. It means the point in the sky directly above.
Not directly moon, but definitely celestial.
Yeah, a clear connection, but broader.
Zenith is fascinating because it kind of expands what we mean by moon-inspired, doesn't it? It taps into the whole celestial sphere, astronomy itself.
So maybe it appeals more to parents interested in astronomy, specifically.
Could be. Less the romanticism, more the science, perhaps.
Then Esmeray, Turkish, dark moon. That has a sense of mystery. I like the sound of that one, too.
Esmeray offers a really different vibe, doesn't it? The unseen moon, the shadowed part, it's beautiful, evocative, plays with the symbolism differently.
Very unique. And Miray, another Turkish one, shining like the moon. Popular in Turkey, the notes say.
Yeah, Miray's popularity there really highlights how trends vary so much globally, what resonates in one culture.
Might have a totally different impact elsewhere. Language, sound preferences, cultural links.
Exactly. And finally, Isla, this one surprised me.
Turkish and Hebrew origins, meaning moonlight or halo.
And it's actually back in the top 100. Peaked recently. It's had a real resurgence.
Huh. So looking at this whole group of less common names, what's the main takeaway for you?
Just the sheer diversity of inspiration, I think. Mythology, moon phases, cultural views, indirect links. It shows the appeal isn't just literal translation.
It's about the feeling, the symbolism.
Yeah, the cultural significance the moon holds for different people. And Isla's comeback is intriguing. Maybe that soft sound and dual heritage are hitting the right note now.
Okay, let's briefly touch on names with even more nuanced links. Aruna,
Sanskrit, reddish-brown, associated with the dawn.
which is often linked with the moon cycle, right? When the moon might still be up as the sun rises. It's outside the top 1,000.
Aruna represents that more poetic, layered connection. Moon and sun, the daily cycle.
So naming a child Aruna suggests appreciating that wider celestial harmony, not just the moon alone.
I think so. It's subtle, but a beautiful way to invoke that lunar influence indirectly.
Interesting. And we also saw a couple of unisex options here, Chandra and Zenith, both outside the top 1,000 currently. What does their presence, even if rare, suggest about naming trends and how we see celestial bodies?
Well, it fits right into that broader trend towards gender-neutral names, doesn't it?
Yeah, you see that a lot more now.
It suggests the beauty, the symbolism of the moon, of the sky. It's seen as universally appealing, not tied to traditional gender ideas anymore.
Maybe a more modern, inclusive view.
I think that's part of it, reflecting how we see the world and the cosmos.
So bringing it all together, what does this deep dive tell us?
Well, clearly there's this enduring human fascination with the night sky. That comes through loud and clear.
Definitely. But it's also this incredible mix of cultural influences, evolving trends,
Yeah, rich tapestry. You go from something super popular and direct like Luna.
to these much more subtle, culturally specific, or even unisex options. There's a huge range.
Absolutely. We saw direct meanings, mythology, cultural icons, even other planets' moons influencing choices.
And the different popularity levels really show how dynamic naming trends are.
Yeah.
Maybe how we're getting more aware of different cultures, different languages.
That seems likely.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting for me. Thinking about why. Why do certain names take off while others fade?
Right, what drives those shifts?
And the power of those cultural touchstones, ancient myths, modern pop culture, how much they shape these choices.
It's huge. This list of 25 names, it really just scratches the surface, doesn't it?
Totally. Each one could be its own exploration into language, myth, astronomy.
For sure. Which makes you wonder, what other celestial things might inspire names?
Yeah. Other planets, constellations, phenomena. What stories are behind those names?
That's definitely something to think about. What else is out there?